My three followers, today we're going to take a look at CSS nesting, why this is a big change and why you should learn it. So CSS nesting is a new feature of CSS, and I will show you why this is also better than using maybe SCSS or SAS if you heard that before, because it really is not necessary anymore. At least that's my point of view. So we're taking a look at it and we are jumping right in, and I will show you first what is CSS nesting, but we need some HTML. And therefore we just created a little bit of HTML code. So maybe we just create a main because we need some code to actually use the CSS on. So yeah, we actually make a h1 home, and here something called home page, and maybe we are also wrapping the page thing in a span. And maybe let's go crazy and say the G in span is also inside of, yeah, what do we want? Maybe a strong? Let's pick a strong. So that actually looks kind of crazy. I will zoom a little bit more. I think now you're going to love what you're seeing, because before it was horrible, right? So yeah, then we need to link to our style sheet. I love Copilot. If you don't use Copilot and you're a student, you can use it for free. That's not something like an advertisement. It's just, it really is good. But there are other alternatives I heard about. Maybe they are good also. But we are now here, and we're going to take a look at our CSS. So I will take a look at the before approach first, and then we go to the how it is now, or how you can do it now. You don't have to. But first you would say, okay, I want the main, for example. So I will comment that as first approach here, because at the end of the video you can find this script in the description actually. So that's at least my wish. Maybe I forgot it. I hope you will find it there. So yeah, we have this main, and then we can say something like, okay, color red, for example. So there is our content. It's not colorizing red now. Why? Because we named it wrong. It's styles.css. We have style.css. Okay, so we see, okay, this is working, and I will zoom in here as well. So home page. Okay. So then maybe if I want to, no, we don't want second approach. If I want to style the h1 now, I would say something like h1, or pick a class. It really doesn't matter. I'm just choosing the direct HTML elements here now. So I say color blue, and then you can see, okay, the h1 is blue now, and the home page, the whole thing is red. But now I can say, for example, I want all spans to be green. Now the page thing is green, and now I want to have every strong thing to be yellow, for example. Okay, yellow has a very, very bad contrast. Let's pick something else. Let's say maybe brown. Okay, and there you have it. So this really is dependent on the order, so that's maybe a problem. And we will take a look now at the new approach. We're not calling this second approach, but new approach. And this is actually way cleaner if you are relating that to each other, or if you're, what is the word in English for that? You're comparing each other. I'm sorry for my bad English. I'm still at the start of this YouTube channel, so I'm sorry. A new approach would be something like that now, actually. It's so intuitive. Let's start the same, color red, but we're not going out of these brackets now. We're staying inside of the curly braces, and we're just saying, okay, now I want the h1, because the h1 is actually inside of the main. So when it's inside, I can stay also inside here and say h1 color blue, for example. Okay, we're resetting that, right? And this is something wrong I did here. I don't know why I did that. And you see we have the same result as before. And now we want, for example, the span here again. Then what we are not allowed to do is say span inside of the h1, because the span is not inside of the h1. So what we have to do is to get out here on the same level. I hope you understand it. It's main, and the children is h1 and p. So you have main, and the children is h1 And span is obviously also a children of main because it's inside of main, but it always has to be inside. So the h1 is blue, and the span, for example, this is the page thing we have. We can say now color, what did we have before? Green, was it? Color green, and it's green. And now what we're not should do, okay, we can do something like that now, but that wouldn't be the clean approach, but we want always the clean approach. So we take that away and we go inside the span and can do something like that in here now. And you see we have the exactly same result as before, and this is so much cleaner. I mean, if you take a look at both, I will comment that in here. Okay, I can refactor that a little bit, but it's not like it's way much shorter, because that's not the case. This is, I think, 11 lines, and this is also 11 lines, so it doesn't make your CSS code much shorter, but you can understand the HTML behind it, and that is a big factor when you're designing, because you understand what's inside of each other by just looking at this code. I see, okay, the h1 is inside of the main, and the span is inside of the main, and the strong is inside of the span is inside of the main. You know, I get an understanding of what am I doing, and I'm not just blindly saying what's going on. You have features like this already in things like SCSS or SAS or any other preprocessor. But actually you don't need it anymore, because you have now variables in CSS. If you want a video about that, then just let me know. And you have things like nesting now in CSS. So CSS really is getting very good, and it's actually faster, obviously, than SCSS, because it doesn't need to compile to CSS. I'm sorry. So you can use CSS now very good in very good production builds. I mean, I'm a big fan of Tailwind, and maybe I will take a look at that too if you're interested. But CSS is really going forward here and are doing great changes about that. And it even helps also not only with readability, but also with maintainability, because you see in the code, to change the span thing, and then you can directly go into the tree and go down in the tree, and you don't have, I mean, let's assume this is not only this is way longer. You get the point? And then you're searching for, oh, where is it what I need to change? And that wouldn't be, let me refactor this shortly, that wouldn't be the fact here. You just can logically go down the path and find what you're searching for. So this is a very good feature. The new approach is also decreasing the download size downloaded to the client or the user of your web page, because this approach leads more to not errors but mistakes of the developers, because they are doing things twice and have some duplicates in it, and this is just much easier to understand for the developers too, so they make less mistakes, so the file size of the bundled CSS is lower, or I mean it's less, and this is actually what's getting shipped to the client, so this is also less. So yeah, but maybe you ask yourself, what is the browser support of this? Because this is actually very nice. Wow, I just throw up some German words in there. It's very new, so if we take a look at the web page of Can I Use, then we can take a look at CSS Nesting, and I would tell you that looks very great actually. I mean, if you're designing or making a web page for 100% of the whole planet, then you shouldn't do CSS Nesting, but then you shouldn't do animation, then you shouldn't do anything that is cool in browsers, and just have a blank HTML page, for example. But yeah, there are actually some viewer browsers like Opera Mini, UC browser for Android, QQ browser, Baidu browser, KaiOS browser. I actually don't know them. And if you're neither and you just want to use this because it's in the newest browsers or in the most used browsers completely supported, then go for it. And yeah, if you want to catch the 100% of every human on the whole planet and the whole universe, then you shouldn't. But I would say that's not the case. yeah, you see it's much nicer, much shorter, and that's already the whole magic. The whole video was just about this topic. I hope you liked it. You will find that code in the description. I hope so. But yeah, nevertheless, thank you for watching the video. Thanks for supporting this channel. Maybe take a subscribe, take a like, and yeah, we see each other at the next video. Bye bye.